Welcome to Walking with J.Beau once again. An almost daily walking vlog. We are having a beautiful day today. It's nice and warm here in Maine. We've had rain for the past couple days. Yesterday it rained like cats and dogs all day long. And I went for a walk anyway, which was uploaded. Today has vastly different weather. So we're going to do about 5.5 to 6 miles. It'll actually be somewhere in between that. So I hope everybody's having a really good week. Today is Friday. Got a few things to talk about today, which we will. It goes in the category of what a time to be alive. And I have told you guys many times, a lot of things are going to happen, and they're going to happen fast. And this has been a non-stop presidency. I swear President Trump gets no rest at all, it looks like. He constantly working. Absolutely unbelievable, to be honest with you. Today he's at the Ryder Cup. With his granddaughter Kai. Who I understand is a great golfer herself. So anyway, I'll wait until we round the corner up ahead and I'll turn the camera around and we'll start delving into things. But until we get there, excuse me, I'm going to talk about Charlie Kirk here for a minute. I am seeing so much conspiracy theory nonsense online, and you know, a lot of people have theories on that. Mainly the bullet. How come there's no exit wound? How come this? How come that? We can't trust the official narratives. Well, let me ask you this. It sounded like a .30 caliber shot. 308, 30-06, something like that. So, what is it you're suggesting? What would the alternative be? What difference does it make what caliber was used? With regard to who did it or didn't. Hi. It's okay. All right. So realistically, my friends, what would be the benefit of having a bullet that doesn't go through him? What is the conspiracy? What is the big lie that would come from that? Who would that benefit? What would it serve? Would Charlie Kirk be less dead? I guess is my point. I mean, seriously, what are you guys doing? So the alternative would be that this kid was set up, he's a patsy, he didn't do the shooting, nothing like that happened, and I'm going to show you why you guys are stupid for thinking this is a conspiracy. The real problem is you don't trust what you're being told, which the way things are today, I don't blame you for that. I don't. You can't trust what you're being told. But you can trust common sense. The first thing I'll talk about is nobody knows what bullet was used. What bullet type. We know it's 30-06. We know the rifle used is more than capable at 140 yards. We know that some velocity, maybe 200 to 400 yards of feet per second on the velocity might come off. At that distance, not enough difference to make a difference, as Paul Harrell would say. So it would have had just about the same velocity as if somebody shot it point blank, okay? Okay. So, with that, we don't know what type of bullet it was. We don't know the brand. We just don't know. Obviously, it was not a full metal jacket. Full metal jacket would have gone right through easily, no matter what it hit. As videos I have seen on YouTube, shooting at meat through bone has demonstrated. It decimated what it was hitting. Now, when people go hunting, and this is very important, you shoot a moose with a 30-06. A moose is very thick, has a lot of meat, so we can't use that for a comparison. Charlie Kirk was not thick as a moose. Okay. So now let's move on to something smaller, maybe some deer. We'll choose a deer, okay? Even shooting a deer at the shoulder area for a heart and lung kill is thicker than Charlie Kirk's neck. Okay, we got that. But hunting rounds, when you shoot a deer or other animals, don't go through all the way and come out the other side. There's no exit wound. Why? Because of expansion of the round. The bullet flattens out, gets bigger, transfers the energy into a pocket, the wound channel. So most of that absorbs the energy, and then you typically don't get too much penetration after that. So that tells me, without knowing, that the round used was in fact a hunting round, either a soft point, hollow point, something like that, where the jacketing is going to peel back. Now, we also don't know, what shape the bullet was in when they found it. From the Turning Point USA spokesperson, who actually talked to the surgeon that removed it, he said the bullet went downward and Charlie Kirk. And they found it just under the skin on his back. So, I'll turn this around. Now, anybody that shoots bullets knows that bullets do crazy things. They can take a 90-degree turn, 45-degree. They can turn into magic bullets. So, that's just the truth of it, okay? And we all know that happens. We all know that if you shoot anything at all, either water or anything that's not water, you know bullets do weird things. So, also, Charlie Kirk is sitting down below and the shooter is up high. So, the bullet was already going in a downward trajectory. It's not going straight into his neck, it was coming downward. 140 yards at a certain angle. Comes in and hits his spine through his neck and then goes downward. Straight downward. And they find it lodged just under the skin on his back. Thought I heard that dog. I heard dog tags. Anyways, so that's been confirmed to my liking. Now, the reason why I was talking about common sense is look at all the hoops you would have to jump through to sell this to the public. You'd have to have the father of the shooter lie. You'd have to have his roommate lie. You'd have to fake the text messages that were sent back and forth to each other. You'd have to fake the paper note that was found in their dwelling. You would have to fake a lot of the security camera footage. I mean, what are you guys doing, you know? The camera footage shows him jumping off the roof with the rifle. I mean, fucking hello. Was there more than one shot? No. The bullet came from that rifle. To say anything else is outrageously ridiculous. Foolish, in fact. The rifle belonged to his grandfather, who gave it to his dad. He took it, or it was gifted to him. Whatever the case is, that's the rifle that was used, and as I stated a few minutes ago, what difference does it make what the round was? If it was 300 blackout, or 7.62 by 39, or some other 30 caliber. What difference does it make? You're going to have to go to trial with DNA from the rifle, which he left. He left DNA on the screwdriver on the roof. They would have had to have planted that and faked that as well. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, seriously. So anyway, definitely sounded like a 30 caliber crack. Like a 308, 30-06. The only 30 caliber I can think of that would be too weak would probably be 30-30, which you can shoot 140 yards, but you would have some drops you'd have to deal with. But it's not exactly a bullet an assassin would choose, would it? Is it? So again, we don't know what brand was used. Now I've been seeing people talk about his wireless microphone exploded. What you can see in the video is just hydrostatic shock from a 30-06 because it's a powerful round. So they're trying to say the Israelis killed Charlie Kirk for his comments about Israel, even though Charlie Kirk supported Israel. So people are getting so stupid right now, it makes me hate the internet. So I'm trying to offer a sane voice, looking at facts. And I guarantee you, if we find out what kind of bullet was used, we'll have our answers. Now, the Dallas shooter at the ice facility was 30-06, and they were full metal jacket, like target shooting ammo, like you would use to sight your rifle. Those penetrate, have good penetration. But a lot of rifle rounds, because they're high velocity, they don't have good penetration. And that's the important thing to remember. Just because the bullet is more powerful, you have a bigger wound channel open up. Then it contracts, it absorbs all that energy, and you don't get too much bullet travel after that. Unless it's a full metal jacket. Now, they found this inside him. It went down through his body to his back. So that's probably why he died. As we have another voter ID sign. See that? So anyway, that's my opinion on that. If you have a different view, don't just proclaim you have a different view and you think it's something else. Explain why you think it's that way. I don't care how long it is that I have to read. Too many things being posted online by people that don't know anything. And the thing is they should know automatically, if they did know something, that until we know what type of bullet was used, everything else is just guesswork, literally. So it's not worth listening to. It serves no benefit to fake what caliber was used. It creates more problems than it solves, and it just doesn't make sense. So there's that, you know. 30-06, there's many different bullet weights. There's some that are pretty light, some that are pretty heavy. So it's, you know, you just can't base anything till you know what the brand is. Then the other thing you'd have to say is that Kash Patel is a deep state person now and lying. And so is Dan Bongino. No, sorry. Too many people would have to cover this up and lie about it. You know, the doctor that did the surgery on Charlie Kirk stated what he saw. The bullet went down into his body, and they found the bullet near his back, just under the skin. So he didn't say if it was fragmented, mutilated, mushroomed. He didn't say anything. So I can tell you right now, it was not full metal jacket. It had to have been a hunting round. Now, if it was a hunting round, was it a polymer tipped one to ensure expansion? The polymer tip is to help with accuracy and also to help with penetration until the bullet gets to open, so you don't get fabric clawing up the hollow point or fur. And so we got another yes on one voter ID right here. So anyway, we got all this stuff going on and complete craziness, right? So I don't know what to tell you, but I can tell you that this is what happened. There's no benefit to lie about it. There's no benefit to a cover-up. And, you know, there just isn't. And all I'm seeing is an example of what happens on the internet when people lose their friggin' minds. So I got a pretty good sweat going right now. It is rather warm today. In fact, it's unusually warm today. It's 74 degrees, but it's humid. That's the difference. And so it's not overwhelmingly uncomfortably hot. It's just I'm walking, so I'm getting warmed up. Now tomorrow it's going to be almost 80. And then we're going to have high 70s again. And then we got a day later this week coming up. That's going to be 80 degrees. And then we're going to have 2 or 3 days in the 60s. And then it's going to get warm again in the 70s. And that goes with the weather forecast I saw that said we're going to be warmer than normal this fall, which is fine. That's always good. So I'm going to turn the camera around. And, you know, this stuff is important to talk about. I just don't want to obsess and dwell on it. It just doesn't make sense. And I think what really bothers me is it disrespects Charlie Kirk in a sense that people are going to forget why he was killed, and they're going to talk about reasons that don't exist. They're talking about Israel killing him because right now hating Jews is a cool thing online, which I absolutely abhor. And I don't support that at all. So, you know, the simple fact is, a guy was infatuated, obsessed with his furry roommate. They were indoctrinated with leftist ideologies. And he hated Charlie Kirk. Said so. He told family that before he did the shooting. His family loved Charlie Kirk. MAGA Christians voted for Trump. So he was just being a belligerent, like some family members do. And he said he hated Charlie Kirk, hated him. That was a week before he shot him. So I'm not seeing anything that tells me anything different. And as I've stated, and I'll state it again, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop on his roommate for a conspiracy charge. Conspiracy to commit murder. Or actually being the one that planned it. Tyler Robinson still isn't talking. And he has that right. So, still bothers me that he told his roommate, don't talk with the police. Don't tell him anything. And he did. So, probably realized he was in deep doo-doo and he planned it, so he had to at least give him something. I'm just speculating that. There's literally no evidence to confirm that, so I want to put that disclaimer out there. My personal belief is that his roommate, the furry, was going to be indicted for obstruction and not contacting authorities when you know a crime happened. Ooh, I got some big turkeys. Got some big turkeys there. See those big turkeys eating some seed. Bugs. A whole bunch of gnats around my face today. They all want the sweat. Bugs. Wow, look at that. That looks beautiful. Try to get some fall pictures today. It looks like I'm getting them. Starting to look pretty nice, actually. Wow. Anyways, my friends, that was the 360 playlist. Hope you enjoyed that. There we go. So, my friends, that's my thoughts on the Charlie Kirk thing. Also, I wanted to do a quick commentary on the idiot Kamala Harris, who's doing a book tour, trying to sell her book. And in the process, she's reminding everybody why Trump is president. She is, she's terrible, not very smart. So the other thing I'm going to talk about is James Comey. One of the charges they wanted to charge him with, the grand jury would not indict him on. But he got charged on 2 other counts. Lying to Congress, which is perjury, and obstruction. So he was the head of the FBI when he violated the law. So that's an egregious violation of his oath of office. And like President Trump said today, he goes, you know, it's a Biden appointed judge that he has. A Biden appointed judge, Trump said, is not going to be able to save James Comey. This is an airtight, slam shut violation of the law. He got caught. Now his testimony contradicts Andrew McCabe, who McCabe is also going to get prosecuted. And the real issue, with McCabe is he gave different testimony than Comey did. So one of them's lying. Because you had two people that said two different things. So obviously, somebody's lying. We're going to find out. Either case, one of the two or both are going to jail. And the reason why this is necessary is for 10 years, the left has been orchestrating Russia collusion hoaxes, sabotaging the president, trying to lock him up for life. And these people need to go to jail. They need to be held accountable because they'll do it again if you don't. Somebody else with a different face and a different name will do the same thing and probably learn from the mistakes of the first one, and it'll be even worse. And we can't have that. So this has to be done. There's a long list too. There's at least 14 or 15 names. Everybody from Sally Yates to Obama himself. Would not surprise me if Obama gets indicted. The argument with that would be presidents have limited immunity. Limited immunity means immunity from decisions made that have to do with the presidency. You cannot make, you can't commit a crime and then claim limited immunity. You can still be prosecuted for a crime. So that's just the truth of it, my friends. That's it, you know. You gotta take care of this stuff. You just have to. So you get Susan Rice, Sally Yates, Andrew McCabe, Clapper, Brennan. It's a long list. Letitia James, Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, leaking classified information, which is a crime, even if you're in Congress. At the very least, if they stand trial for this stuff and then get indictments and they stand trial and they're exonerated, or they prove themselves innocent, or, you know, because the burden's going to be on the DOJ for a beyond a reasonable doubt. And the burden is on the state, or in this case, the federal government. So the case has to be solid to even think about getting any indictments. And I have mentioned that on my walk many times. We cannot charge these people and prosecute them if they're just going to get off, because that makes Trump look bad. So that's just a fact. Even though technically it would not be bad, because these people do need to at least understand they can't do what they did and get away with it, even if they get away with it, because it's going to cost them. So, regardless, this is where we are. I fully support it. And if people are guilty, they need to go to jail. If they're not, then they're not. I have zero sympathy for these people, what they did to us over the last 10 years. I've got zero sympathy. We saw how everybody ganged up on our vote to ruin our vote. And that's how I took it. I took it personally that this was an attack on democracy. Duly elected president, right? Got a duly elected president, and can't be having that. So anyway, we're going to see a lot of crap coming up. There's going to be a lot more indictments. Somebody's going to go to jail. I just don't know how many. And a lot of people keep saying, Hillary Clinton, when is she? Well, she's not going to be prosecuted. And the reason why she won't be, statute of limitations has run out on anything that she lied to Congress about. So she would have to have done something recent, like within the last 5 years. In fact, the reason why Comey had this indictment right now is because at the end of this month, the end of September was the deadline for the statute of limitations. It was a 5-year window. So charges had to be brought now, which leads me to questions about Brennan, Clapper, and McCabe, because that was about the same time. So I don't have all the details on those. Now the difference with the I explained this before, but the difference with a charge of sedition does not have a statute of limitations. It does, but it doesn't, because the reason being is if you have somebody do a traitorous act seditiously, like Adam Schiff sabotaging the presidency, leaking information to the media that was classified, is you have a statute of limitations on it. Let's say he did that 5 years ago, but then he goes on social media criticizing being charged or people thinking about charging him, and that is actually a continuance of the sedition because he's still lying, you see? So you can still charge him, and if he's found guilty, then it's a valid prosecution because he was lying up to the minute before he was charged. So the statute of limitations would start at his last comment he made last week or whatever it was, even though it's something he did 5 years ago, you see? That's how the law works with sedition. You can look that up if you want. I did. And there is no statute of limitations on treason. So, but treason is more of a difficult charge because usually that has to be with wartime. And this wasn't wartime, this was a domestic issue. And even Abraham Lincoln, when there were people being treasonous during wartime, had a difficult time prosecuting people and giving them the death penalty for treason. So, and that was a pretty nasty war. And our laws have not changed too much since then with regard to that. So it is pretty cut and dry, though. If we were at war and somebody was leaking to the enemy, for example, that would be sufficient, but that's not where we are, so you can't really go there, in my opinion. But we can do lying under oath and all that stuff, falsifying information. Felony charge for lying under oath can be something like 30 days in jail, up to 5 years, depends on the judge and the severity of the charges. So he also has obstruction and perjury, so he could get 90 days in jail. I think the judge is going to be lenient on him and give him a big fine and some jail time. Regardless, he will be guilty, his name will be sullied, and he will be a black stain on the FBI. And sadly, a lot of these people feel entitled to do what they did, because they consider Trump a legitimate threat to their establishment, which he is. He's not a threat to democracy. He's not a threat to the country. He's a threat to them. So they abuse their power. It's an abuse of power. And they need to pay for that, because the government belongs to us, not them. We voted for Trump. We elected Trump. He's doing what we voted for. He campaigned on locking these people up. And he campaigned on he's going to bomb Iran's nuclear program. He did. So far, he's been doing everything he said he was going to. Tariffs. Now, my brother who's working in Virginia sent me a picture yesterday, and he said that same gas station last month was $3.29 a gallon. Today it was $2.65 a gallon for gas. Right now here in Maine at Walmart, it's $2.72, $2.76, something like that. And prices are going down. Some prices that are not going down is electricity. which usually has to do with the state you're in more than anything. Just to clue you in, if your state has shut down hydro projects because of environmental concerns, and they built a whole shitload of windmills off your coast, chances are the price of your electricity is ridiculous. And the price of electricity in Maine is not cheap. Unfortunately. I'm gonna get another shot here. I'm gonna get another 360 shot as I walk this way. Leaves are not as pretty as they're going to be in another week or two. I notice a lot of ones that have dead edges on the leaves, so that's not a good sign. We did have a whole crap ton of rain yesterday. I mean, it poured rain all day, and we desperately needed that. We did. No argument for me with that. Put the selfie stick back on. Hello. Making sure the lens is clean. All right. Get the selfie view. So, I do sincerely hope you're having a good Friday today. Friday the 26th. So thank you for walking with me today. We got about a couple miles left or so. And it's really important to understand where we are in history right now. We are literally experiencing the most important time in political history since the 1930s. Kind of grateful for that. I've been crying about Washington, D.C. being corrupt and destroying us for 20 years now. It's about when I left the Democratic Party. And I'm very happy very happy to see where the country is going now. I think a lot more people are understanding where the country is going. The Democrats keep citing these obscure polls saying Trump isn't popular, he's underwater. He's not. If he was underwater, the Democrats would be in the front selling their wares right now, and nobody's listening to them. So they're bullshitting like they bullshit with everything else. Now, right now, with the shutdown looming, government shutdown, Chuck Schumer ended up caving last year. Everybody remembers that. AOC took him to the cleaners on that, politically. And she's looking to unseat him and primary him. And he knows that when he caved in last year, he weakened his own chair. A lot of Democrats were calling for him to step down, resign from minority leader, and he didn't. He's not as powerful as he once was, and he wants to hang on to that power because in Washington, D.C., he's still a young man. He's in his 60s. You know, plus his genes, he's Jewish. He'll probably be a senator until his 90s, like Feinstein, you know, Dianne Feinstein. I think she was 89, 90, 91, something like that. So he's going to be there until he dies, okay? And so that's the kind of thing that we're seeing from them, and that's the way it is, folks. So Chuck Schumer and the Democrats put in giving tax dollars to illegals, health care for illegals. He put in all kinds of poison pills in it because he thinks the Republicans are going to cave in like they always used to in the past. So Trump came out today and emphasized, he also canceled, President Trump canceled talking with the Democrats. So he told them, I don't even want to talk to you. This is bullshit. I'm not supporting anything that you're planning on doing. And Trump has to do that because he's going to tell the Republicans that, look, you guys cave on this, I'm not signing it, and you're going to have to own it with your voters. I said a couple days ago that we were going to shut down. I told you guys that because it's a perfect storm for that. The senators are not in D.C. right now. They have time off. And when they come back, they're literally going to have less than 2 days. Less than 2 days, folks, to get this done. And they've already lost one vote with John Fetterman, who I wish would just leave the Democratic Party and become a Republican, because he's more of a Republican than he is a Democrat. I just wanted to get a shot. I like the photos that the 360 takes, so sometimes I just use it for a camera because it does have that feature. So anyway, the GoPro takes good pictures too. I just wanted a picture of this section right here with the sun coming through the trees. So anyway, I don't think Chuck Schumer is going to cave. I don't. I think they have planted their flag, and they made a whole bunch of outrageous requests because they think at the last minute they're going to be able to negotiate some of it and at least get some of it. And that's what the Democrats have always done. It's always worked for them because we've always had a weak Republican Party. And Trump needs to stand firm, and so do the Republicans. Because this is what destroyed our country. The way they do business is what destroyed our economy and our country and why we're in debt to begin with. So, no, you cannot give, cannot cave. We have to hold the line. Trump is not unpopular. The Republicans are not unpopular. And if the government shuts down, Schumer is going to own it. Every Republican can then say, see, this is what the Democrats have been doing. This is why we voted for Trump, is to stop this waste and abuse of tax dollars. So we're going to have to see what happens, obviously. And something will happen. Government's going to shut down. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means people aren't going to get their welfare payments. People aren't going to get paid if you're in the military. It'll threaten medical services. It'll affect a lot of people. And that's why the Democrats always use it as a weapon. And it's not going to work this time. I can smell smoke. I actually see a haze over the road. So I hope that is coming from a chimney and not the woods. It's coming from the woods, so I'm going to have to make a phone call to the fire department. Let's see what we got up here. I'm sure you can see that haze even from this distance. Yep, something's burning. Hopefully it's intentional, that's all I'm saying. This looks kind of nice, fall weather-wise. Yep, looks like somebody burning something. It's coming from coming from a household. Some kind of fire going in the backyard. All right. There's no wind today, so it's just kind of lingering. Yeah. Oh, I see it. Yeah. I got a big fire behind a barn back there. I can hear some music playing. So they're starting their weekend. See? See all the smoke? So anyways, here we got a dead frog, and we got another dead frog. Oh, he's still alive. He's still alive. I'm sorry, little fella. Well, he must have come out here when we had all that rain. Sorry, little froggy. I turned him over on his belly at least. I can see a couple of them got run over in the road. So we had all that rain and they came out. I feel bad now. I'm not going to be able to help that frog. And after all, it's just a frog, but I still feel bad. It's going to die. And it's going to decompose, or it's going to feed something. Crow will come along and eat it. So that's how it goes. Sorry, little froggy. So I saw some more pregnant women overdosing on Tylenol. I can't even believe it. Can't even believe it. Then I found an old social media post on Facebook for the official Tylenol account from 2017. Telling pregnant women not to use Tylenol at all. It's not good to take painkillers when you're pregnant. Tylenol is the safest, but it's not safe. Never has been, and they have said it wasn't. So it's not misinformation because Trump says it. But you really have people overdosing on Tylenol. Probably going to lose their baby. I mean, it's mind-boggling how dumb people are today, how stupid, easily influenced. Because the media decided to run stories making fun of Trump and RFK instead of being truthful and saying, why can't you just come out with an article and say, okay, while Trump and RFK are two clowns, what they're saying is actually true. To some degree, at least, you know, something. We've got another secure election sign on the lawn across the street, which is good. Seems to be very popular. Democrat legislature here tried to bury it. They tried to prevent it from going to citizen initiative, and the Maine Constitution prevents them from doing that. And now it's going to be on the ballot. It's going to be up to the people. And they did the same thing with constitutional carry. Constitutional carry ended up being on the ballot. And people voted for it. And I voted for it, even though I wasn't carrying at the time. Second Amendment right, I've always supported that. Whew. Definitely a good workout today. So the reason why I hate hearing all these conspiracy theories on Charlie Kirk, because they sound just as ridiculously stupid as the Trump staged his own assassination. Completely ridiculous. It's a nice day today. All right, we'll be entering the last mile or so, last mile and a half of this walk today. Got to cross the street. Pretty sky today. Cotton ball clouds. I don't know what else to talk about today. Maybe nothing. I don't have to really talk about anything. Well, those are cool looking clouds. That's a nice shot. I'm not wearing my regular hiking boots today because they got absolutely rain soaked and they're still wet and weigh like 5 pounds each. So I'm wearing my Reebok sneakers, which are fine because those are good to walk in also. So there was a very pretty maple tree just past this tree, and it got cut down. So I'm pretty sad about that. That one was the prettiest orange and yellows, really a nice golden color, and it's gone. Don't know why they cut it down. It wasn't sick. But that's the stump right there. That's where it was. Pretty sky today. So I'm coming up on 5 miles here shortly, and I still have a little ways to go after I stop recording. It's definitely a nice walk today, and I enjoyed the walk yesterday in the pouring rain. That was okay. It wasn't cold. I'm going to hang a left up here. Kids are having fun, as well they should. So I think we covered pretty much most of the things we wanted to talk about today. Like I said, we're in some crazy times. I don't know where we go from here. This is all unprecedented territory. James Comey is the first former FBI head to be prosecuted for lying under oath. So James Comey politicized the office, just like everybody else when Obama was president. people need to pay for what they did. And we all know they did something. So it's called comeuppance. Look it up. C-O-M-E-U-P-P-A-N-C-E. One word, comeuppance. Across the street. Somebody across the street got themselves a Santa Cruz. I like those buggies. I like how they look. It's like a little utility vehicle with the bed in the back. Kind of a half truck, half car. Throw your gear in the back, go mountain hiking. And what have you. Put your groceries in there, whatever. A Santa Cruz. So who all else is going to get prosecuted? Who? Turn the camera around. Who are we going to see get prosecuted? My personal list is Sally Yates, Susan Rice. Those were two that really coordinated things. Sally Yates used to be the Attorney General for Obama. Brennan, Clapper, McCabe, Lisa Page, Stroke. I don't think Lisa Page will get prosecuted because she was already charged with something and she ended up resigning instead of being fired. And they actually gave her money, like a thank you or something. I think she got like $200,000 or $300,000. Crazy. So we're going to see who else gets prosecuted. I definitely want to see Brennan. You have to remember the evidence released by Tulsi Gabbard, the DNI, specifically states that they knew there was no Russia collusion and they did it anyway. So they made it happen. They lawfared President Trump illegally. Then they lied under oath about it. So that's why they need to go to jail. Hopefully that's what we see happen. So I'll walk with you a little bit more up ahead, sign off with you. And I hope you're having a good start to the weekend today. I hope. Hi, how are you? So that's funny because I'm recording. That guy took his camera out and he's recording. Pretty funny. So anyway, hope you're enjoying the end of the week today. And we have the weekend coming up. And you know, say a prayer for Trump and the country. God bless America, and stay good to one another. Stay healthy and get out. Make America healthy again. Get out and walk, even if it's just a little bit. Do something to be beneficial. Anyways, my friends, God bless you, and we will see you on the next walk. Take care, my friends, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for walking with J.Beau today. Bye-bye, friends. Bye-bye.